Here we go. Hi everyone, this is Johnny here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if this is the first time you're actually coming to my channel, welcome. Alright, so my channel actually mainly focuses on reviewing budget and affordable wireless earbuds. Okay, so if you like my content, it would be great if you could actually like my channel. Okay, smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Activate the notification bell, okay, so that you can actually get the latest notification on my upcoming channel. Without further ado, let's get into today's content. Alright, so now in today's video, I will actually be doing a review on the Airtwins A6 Bluetooth Wireless Earbud. Oh, it's very long, right? Now, this is a pair of earbuds which I actually bought for around $13 Singapore dollars from Shopee Singapore. Of course, adding that's actually after adding all the vouchers and discounts, etc. I get it at around 13 Singapore dollars. Alright, and currently, I mean, after I checked it, it has actually sold more than 400 sets actually, and it has actually a pretty high rating of 4.7 out of 5 stars. But after my 1 week also of usage, are there any issues? Any problems? Is it really that good? Does it really warrant the 4.7 star? I mean, I'm not very sure. So let's get into it right now. So for the record, I actually bought this earbud, the Airtwins A6 Wireless Earbuds, from my own pocket. So this video is actually not sponsored, neither has actually the manufacturer or the company which is actually selling this earbuds actually have any say over what I'm going to be doing. And I've actually been using this earbuds as my daily for the past 1 week for music, for phone calls, for video calls, for looking at YouTube videos, Netflix, etc. And also for gaming as well. I mean, I'm a pretty casual gamer, alright? Now, even though this earbuds cost only around $13 Singapore dollars, but I'm actually going to be very honest and very detailed. I mean, as detailed as I can, okay? So this is actually going to be a pretty long video, but don't worry, I'll actually include the timestamp in the description below so that if you want, you can jump to certain segments to actually get to that particular portion which you want to actually have more information about this particular earbuds, whether is it worthwhile to spend the money. And for those of you who actually missed the unboxing video of the A6 wireless earbud, don't worry, I'll be including the unboxing link, the video link in the description below as well. Now, let's get into the basic feature. Firstly, the A6 wireless earbuds, or I'll actually just call it A6 for the whole video because otherwise it's way too long. Now, the A6 actually comes in 2 colors on offer, black and white. Alright, and the basic dimensions is 55 millimeters, width is 33 millimeters, the height is 34 millimeters. Alright, so for some of you here who are more familiar with cm or centimeters, basically the length is 5.5 cm, the width is 3.3 cm, and then the height is 3.4 cm. Now, in terms of the weight, the charging case itself, alright, is 33 grams with both earbuds inside. Now, without the earbuds, it's around 25 grams. And for the earbud, each earbud is 4 grams. So both earbuds would be 8 grams. Now, the earbuds doesn't have touch control. It's actually physical tactile buttons, one on each side of the earbud. It doesn't have built-in volume control, so you actually need to adjust the volume with your phone's volume rocker, the up and down button, or if you're connected to the laptop or PC, you actually need to manually adjust the volume either with the volume slider bar or with your multimedia keyboard. Now, besides that, the manufacturer claims that it's actually using the Qualcomm VCV version 8.0 noise reduction for phone calls. I mean, I'll get to that a bit later. This is a basic feature. Alright, now in terms of battery, the earbuds is 50 milliamp. Each earbud is 50 milliamp. The charging case itself is 300 milliamp, and it comes with a micro USB charging connection port. It's claimed to have a standby time of 100 hours. It uses Bluetooth 5.0 for connection, and it has a 5.8 millimeters driver in each earbud. It has one built-in mic on each earbud. It's also claimed to be IPX5 water resistant. Now, enough of all the basic features, let's dive right into the actual product itself. Okay, so now in terms of the design and build, the shape itself, well, it's a little bit different. The A6 is slightly thicker, shorter and taller. It's a little bit different from other earbuds which I've actually reviewed. Now, the charging case itself is actually PVC material, it's plastic material. It has a glossy finishing, so it's actually pretty prone to fingerprints. Alright, but of course you have some scratches or what, but it's not very obvious because it's actually black color. Now, there is actually a single LED light at the back of the charging case, which is just next to the USB, the micro USB charging port, which will actually light up, okay, to indicate power. The next thing I like about it is that in terms of the design, it has no logo, zero logo, nothing on the charging case itself, which I like it. It's very minimalist design, nice, simple. Now the earbuds itself, okay, is matte finishing. It's slightly different from the casing itself, okay, but the good thing is that since it's actually a matte finishing, it's not prone to magnets. Now, and then there's a tactile button on each earbud which you can press, okay. And now the earbuds design itself is round in shape, and therefore they actually sit slightly raised above the earbuds, as you can see from here. Slightly raised, let me tilt that, okay, they're slightly raised, alright. Now, and because it's actually slightly raised from the earbuds, there is a slight groove in the middle, right? There's a slight descent, a slight, indent, in the middle at the back of the charging case, whereby your finger can actually go in, and your index finger, whichever finger you want to use, you can just, it's very easy to peer it out, because all you need to do is just to pull it towards you, and then the earbuds will come right out. Alright, the charging case itself, the lid, it actually uses magnets, which is hidden underneath the lid here in the middle. Right, it actually uses magnet to keep the lid closed, but the magnet itself is only strong enough to keep it closed. If you flick it, with a bit more strength, the lid will just fling open, and then after that your earbuds will also come flying out as well. This is something to take note, that the magnets are very weak. It's only enough to keep it in its place, and that's about it. Now, in terms of comfort, the earbuds, due to this design whereby it's round and thick, firstly, it's actually pretty easy to put them into my ears. I mean, it's because it's slight groove, so it's very easy to get the orientation. And the thing is that because it's round and it's thick, you will not forget them, because you will know that they are there in your ears, okay? And due to the design, so it has actually a very short tip. As you can see here, it's a very short tip, very different. So it and it goes just slightly into my ear canal, alright? And the most important part is in terms of comfort. I would say that this earbud, the A6, they are not very comfortable for wearing for long hours. Due to the fact is that I think it has got to do with the design. It's round, it's thick. So when I was wearing it for less than around an hour, I start to have some ear fatigue here, have some pain and this kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's something to take note. If some of you intend to actually get the A6 wireless earbud, to wear it for longer listening sessions, okay, maybe you have a Zoom call, you have some online classes which is about 2 hours or 3 hours, this is something to take note. You will actually start to experience ear fatigue after 30 or 40 minutes, okay? Now, in terms of battery life, like I mentioned earlier, the earbuds itself is rated at 50 milliamp per earbud. Now, in terms of usage after 1 week, I could get to about 3 hours of listening to the music at 50% volume. I'll come to the volume part a little bit later. Okay, why is it at 50%? Basically, those of you who know, who has been watching my review video, you will know that I usually just listen to music at 30%. This is one of the rare earbuds whereby I have to set it at 50%. I'll come to that a little bit later when I will start, and I'll be touching on audio quality. Now, in terms of phone calls, I can get to about 2.5-3 hours. In terms of Zoom calls or Skype call, I could get to about 3 hours at maximum volume. Okay, something to take note at max volume. When it's at low battery, when the earbuds are at low battery, you will start to actually experience frequent intermittent disconnection. Alright, and then at the back of the earbuds, the red LED light will actually start to flash once every 5 seconds. Right, this is actually to remind you that the earbuds are actually low on battery, you need to start charging it. Okay, and when you put the earbuds back into the earbuds, the red light will actually come on. Alright, to indicate it's actually charging. Now, in terms of the charging case, it's actually rated at 300 milliamp. So it will actually give, if you're charging both earbuds at the same time, it will actually give you up to 2 charges. It will give you actually a total usage of up to about 9 hours, but again, it's really up to how you use them. From my own usage, you can get probably around 7 hours to 9 hours, ranging in that range. Just keep to that, 7 to 9 hours. The good thing is that it's able to charge the earbuds independently. Alright, so which will give you up to 4 charges, 4 times the charges. As I mentioned, there's a blue LED indication light next to the micro USB port, so that will actually indicate to you that it's actually charging. Alright, now in terms of how long it takes around 60 minutes to charge the earbuds from 0 to 100, and it takes around 1.5 hours to fully charge the charging case from 0 to 100. And how to know that it's actually charging? There'll be a blinking blue LED light, okay, to actually indicate that it's actually recharging. And once it's actually recharged at 100%, there'll be a solid blue LED light on the charging case. In terms of connectivity, the wireless earbud, the A6, it actually uses Bluetooth 5.0 connection. It actually supports the following Bluetooth profile. Now, in terms of transmission distance, now the manufacturer claimed that it can actually go up to 10 meters unblocked, but so far, it's far from the claim. I could only get up to about 3 meters, It's basically, even at home, and I'm sitting down at the living room, I'm just going to be walking up to my kitchen, which is unblocked. Okay, there's nothing in between, just a straight line, about 3 meters, and I'll start to get intermittent connection. Right, so that's something to actually take note about it. If you're someone who, you want to use this for your work from home, or you're actually working remotely, and you just want to move around the house, this is something to take note that moving slightly away from like your laptop or what, you may start to experience intermittent connection. Now, the good thing is that in terms of the initial pairing with my iPhone or with my Android phone, I didn't face any issues. Both earbuds, when it's entering the pairing mode, there'll be an alternating red and blue light flashing. It'll just alternate rapidly. That will actually indicate to you that the earbuds are actually in pairing mode, and it's very easy to actually pair it with your iPhone or with your Android phone. So far, I've never faced any issue. It's pretty quick, just takes a couple of seconds and then boom, it's connected. Now, the good thing about the A6 is that there's no fixed master and slave. Alright, so you can just pick up either of the earbuds and then you will instantly connect to your phone or your laptop, and then you can start using it instantly for your calls or music or listening sessions. In terms of the connection or disconnection issue, this is something, there were a few issues which I actually experienced during the past 1 week. I'll touch on all of them in sequence. Alright, the first one is actually random intermittent disconnection. I'm not too sure what's up with it. Is that because I'm actually a left master hand, so sometimes when I'm holding my iPhone on my left hand, and I'm listening to music, if I were to put it just slightly down, just put my hands down, I'll start to experience intermittent connection. But when I lift it back up, the problem is gone, alright? Or sometimes when I'm just moving my iPhone just slightly away from me, I'll start to have intermittent, okay? It's very weird. And I don't really face this on my PC or from my laptop. I'm not too sure whether is this a phone thingy. I mean, if you don't have this issue, do let me know in the comment section below. Alright. Now the second issue, it has got to do with the automatic disconnection. Okay, I mean this is quite a common feature nowadays in earbuds, okay, especially for wireless earbuds, whereby the moment you put your earbuds back in the charging case, the Bluetooth connection should cut off automatically. Alright, it should stop transmitting, it should stop connecting. But for the A6 wireless earbud, I have this issue every day, and it's pretty irritating because it drains the battery, not only on my earbuds but also on my phone as well. Okay, there were actually a lot of instances whereby after I put my earbuds back into the charging case and it's still connected, the music's still playing, the music was still playing, or when I try to answer a phone call, and this is actually midway through the day, I'm trying to answer, I have a phone call coming in, and I realized that it was actually connected to my A6 wireless earbud, which is in my bag. It's very frustrating, and I actually had to manually go in to my iPhone into the Bluetooth manual, the sub manual, to actually manually disconnect the Bluetooth. And even if I have done so, it will have a third problem, which is even if I've disconnected it manually, sometimes in the middle of the day, midway through the day, it will magically just reconnect back without me knowing, and this even happens to my Android phone. I'm not too sure whether is it because I have a faulty set. That's too sad, okay? But for those of you who actually never have this issue at all, you have used it for like a month or probably a year or 6 months, let me know in the comment section below, whether do you have such issues. For me, I face the same issues whether I'm using an Android phone or I'm using my iPhone 12 mini. Alright? Other than that, enough of the issues. Last but not least, to wrap up the connectivity, the earbuds, it actually switches pretty effortlessly between phone calls, music, videos, and video calls, etc, etc. It switches very effortlessly. Now, in terms of control, it's important to take note that the A6 relies on physical tactile buttons. There's one button on each one. It's pretty responsive, but it's slightly a bit clicky. Okay, I mean, for some of you here who are pretty, particular. Right, so in terms of the buttons, okay, it's a single click for pause and play, answer or end call. This part is a bit special. Double click to dial the previous number you just dialed. So let's say, for example, the last person you dial is actually your mom or your dad or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife. If you double click, it will call back to the last person you just called. Alright, this is really something, it's very unique. I think this is the very first time I come across whereby the buttons are set in this way. And there's no way to change it. Okay, so double click is to call the last dialed number. Triple click has no function, and there's no way to change it because there's no dedicated app for the A6 to actually reassign all these buttons. If you want to skip the next song, you have to press and hold on either of the buttons for 3 seconds, and then it will go to the next track. If you want to reject a call, press and hold for 2 seconds and the call will be rejected. For power on, you just press and hold for 5 seconds and it will power on or it will power down. Alright? Because the buttons are actually physical, okay, it's physical tactile buttons. So when you're wearing them, okay, so you need to press in. So do take note that whenever you press them, the ear tip will go slightly further into your ear canal. So for those of you who don't really like the feeling of this, I would actually suggest you not to use the physical buttons. Instead, go back to your phone, and use the controls. Alright? Now, in terms of workout, like, is it okay to wear the A6 for working out, for jogging, and this kind of stuff? It's perfectly fine. Okay? The IPX5 rating, it really works. Okay? So you can actually just, if let's say if your A6 is sweaty, it's a little bit dusty and dirty, don't worry. You can actually run it under any water tap, wash it, and then after that put it back into your, maybe just tap it dry a little bit and just put it back into your ear. It will be back to working again. Okay, so there's no worries. And in terms of security, how snug is it? Later on I'll actually do a head shake test. Alright, so this is the head shake test for the Airtwins A6 Wireless earbud. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see here, it's very secure in my ears. It doesn't really drop out. Okay, and because it's actually IPX5 rating, for those of you here who love to wear your earbuds for jogging, you can consider this. Next, now in terms of music quality, the manufacturer claims that it is actually using a 5.8mm driver, one each, and it actually has an audio frequency of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, with a sensitivity of around 98 decibel plus minus 3. Now, according to the audiocheck.net, this is actually a new website which I've actually started to use since the Air 3 Mini, to actually check, all this facts, audio facts given by the manufacturer. Now, I've actually checked, and it actually doesn't hit 20 kHz. It actually only hit the upper frequency at 16 kHz, 16. Alright, so it's not like what the manufacturer claimed, whereby it's actually from 20 Hz all the way to 20 kHz. It's only from 20 Hz all the way to 16 kHz. This is something to take note. Now, in terms of the audio level, which I actually mentioned it previously, the drivers are not very powerful, because even when I set it at 30%, the audio level is still very soft. I have to crank it up to 50-60% before I can actually get to a decent level, okay, or maybe to block out some of the audio. Okay, now, so for those of you here who like loud music, you might want to avoid the A6 wireless earbuds. Alright, because you need to crank it up to a pretty high, and even when it's at 100%, it's not very powerful, right? Because it needs to get to 50% to be at a decent loudness. 100% is still not very loud. Okay, so for those of you who like loud music without going up to 100%, you might want to avoid the A6, the Airtwins A6 wireless earbuds. Alright, cool. In terms of music quality wise, generally speaking, I would say it's less bassy. It's not very bassy, it's not very muffled. Vocals are okay, it's pretty clear. And it's also one thing to take note is that there is no additional audio processing. Alright, so it's just straight out. Okay, so I would say that the A6 is pretty good for just casual music enjoyment. I mean, you just want to listen to audiobooks, or this kind of stuff. You just want the simple Netflix or simple YouTube, this kind of stuff, or your favorite, oppa, your Korean drama, or your Taiwanese drama, or your Hong Kong drama. It's pretty decent for that. Okay, and for those of you who actually want higher level, I mean, look at others, maybe up your budget a little bit more, look at other earbuds, if you really want to have better music enjoyment. Next, moving to audio quality with games. I would say it's pretty okay. It's pretty good. I mean, coming from a casual gamer, it has stereo quality. I'm able to differentiate, people walking on the left, people walking on the right. But let's do one thing to take note is that because the A6 is not really using a very high quality type of driver, so of audio driver. So in terms of the exact pinpoint of the sound location within around you, it's not able to do that. Okay, I mean, you will be able to hear someone walking on the left or people walking on the right, but you won't be able to be something like like spatial audio, which Apple is offering, whereby you can even hear people walking behind you, in front you, upstairs, down, this kind of stuff. No, it's not powerful enough to do that. Okay, but left and right, no problem. Okay, now when I'm actually using this for game, the audio delay is barely noticeable. I mean, coming from me as a casual gamer, I don't really experience it, but for some of you here who are very serious, you know, even like you can really tell like even 1 millisecond of lag. Okay, I mean, look away from this, because these are just a $13 wireless earbud. The A6 just $13. You know, if you know you can't have any audio delays, then I mean, look away from this. Probably go with those better ones, you know, which are actually meant for competitive gaming. Okay. Now, in terms of mic quality, first thing to note is that there's only one built-in mic on each earbud. Okay, and the position of the earbud is actually, of the mic is actually here. Okay, not too sure you can see it, but it's actually here. It's actually not like really pointing towards where my mouth is, actually pointing outwards, okay, to the side. So in terms of the audio quality, the mic quality is very basic and very average. Later on, I mean, I will include some of the mic tests in various different environments, indoors, outdoors, in various different places. You have to listen to it and then you judge. You be the judge, okay? So the mic quality for phone calls, it really largely depends on the location. The quality is okay when you're indoors, but once you move outdoor, it's really bad, okay? So you can take a look at the next segment, which are all the mic tests, okay, the mic quality tests, and remember to wear your headset so that you can have a listen at the quality and you be your own judge.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a mic test on the A6 wireless earbud. This is the mic test on the A6 wireless earbud. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a mic test on the Airtwins A6 wireless earbud. This is a mic test on the A6 wireless earbud. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the mic test on the A6 wireless earbud. This is the mic test of the A6 wireless earbud. I'm actually walking along the street right now, and I'm actually walking along the street right now. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a mic test on the Airtwins A6 wireless earbud on Zoom with mask on. This is a mic test on the Airtwins A6 wireless earbud via Zoom with mask on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a mic test on the Airtwins A6 wireless earbud using Zoom with mask off. This is a mic test on the Airtwins A6 wireless earbud via Zoom with mask off. Without mask. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so in summary, let's look at the pros and cons of the A6 Bluetooth wireless earbuds. Now the Airtwins A6 Bluetooth wireless earbud. Right, so the pros, firstly, it's true IPX5 water resistant, so it's actually perfect for those of you who want to have a simple pair of wireless earbuds for your workouts, for your gymming, for your jogging, or for running, cycling. It's perfectly fine. Another pro is that it has decent quality, you know, for casual gaming, for Zoom calls, for Skype calls, for those of you who just need something simple for work from home, it's okay. Right, the con, short battery life. Alright, it's about 2.5 to 3 hours, that's it, okay. There's no ANC, there's no noise, there's no active noise cancellation, there's no dedicated app, you know, whatsoever to to do further customization. Now the fourth con is that it's not really suitable for music enjoyment. Fifth one, audio level is only loud enough at 50% or 60%. Okay, it's still very soft at 30%. Okay, and the last but not least is that you cannot use smartphone assistants. Like for some of you who are used to using Alexa, or using iPhone, your Siri, or you're using the Android phone, the Google Assistant, the A6 wireless earbud, you can't actually reassign the buttons to use that. I've actually tried, it's not possible because it's not built in. Okay, and there's a triple click which has no feature at all, and you can't assign the Google Assistant or the smartphone assistant for a triple click. No way. So my final verdict, are they really worth it? In my option, I won't really recommend this earbuds to anyone. Firstly, due to a few reasons. Firstly, it's actually due to the design and the short battery life. Alright, the design itself actually doesn't really make it very comfortable to wear it for long hours. And secondly, it has a very short battery life of only about 2.5 to 3 hours max. Alright, even though it's actually $13. Okay. So for me personally, I would actually recommend anyone to up your budget slightly and even look at other wireless earbuds such as the QCY, the T1C, or even the earbuds which I just recently reviewed, which is the Air 3 Mini, or even the Amoy F9. There you have it. This is actually my personal review of the Airtwins A6 Bluetooth wireless earbuds, and I actually hope that it actually helped you. Now if it did, it would be great if you could actually smash the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you can get the latest notification on my upcoming content. So anyway guys, that's all the time we have. My name is Johnny and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!